right, welcome to the Elite4 podcast. I'm your host, Migs.
I'm Dani.
I'm Brent.
Aubrey.
And I'm Migs, and this is the Elite4 podcast. And if you just noticed, I have a new graphic up. That's due to my friend, Crew Salas. He made it himself. We'll talk more about him later. And also, this episode is also sponsored by Moonstone, which we'll also talk about later. But hey, guys, how y'all doing?
Very good. Very good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, for all of y'all watching, Dani and Brent are my good friends that I bartend along, not the same place with. I don't think me and you, Brent, have ever worked together.
I don't think so.
But we all bartend in the same town here in good old Victoria, Texas. Very heavy drinking town, and we definitely profit off that.
Me. I'm like, and I'm on the other side of the bar. And I am a bar goer.
Yeah, we have I think per capita, we have like quite a bit of bars here in Victoria.
Yeah.
We do now.
Yeah,
It used to not be
yeah.
that way, but it seems to be quite a few now.
It's because we can only have
now.
one strip club.
Oh.
So it's just like all bars.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, what a weird rule for Victoria, right? You can only have, I guess no strip clubs, but the one strip club that we do have is grandfathered in because they were around before they made that ordinance. Yeah, I guess sucks to be whoever wants to open up a strip joint.
Ain't happening.
Ain't happening. Nope.
So we have one real crusty. Well, I like it.
I mean, it's fun.
Honestly, I like it.
I'm going to say it is what it is with that place because, like...
It's not the worst place I've
I
been.
honestly have
that's
a
for
good
damn
time
sure.
every single time I go.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
It is. It's fun. It's definitely some good old fun. But no, Victoria is, in my opinion, a very drinking town, and we have a lot of bars. I would say we have a very healthy and competitive bar industry here. A lot of bars opening, a lot of bars closing. Maybe the bar industry itself is changing. Coronavirus itself has definitely impacted the bar industry quite a bit. I was curious about how has it impacted y'all?
Not great.
Not great.
Not great for anybody, I'm sure, but personally,
No.
I mean, obviously, we're still in the process of trying to get the moonshine back going, but
Yeah.
given the state of Texas and the government decisions, I mean, I'm sure that across the nation are probably dealing with the similar kind of things. I think I just read somewhere like California, they haven't even let like hair salons or like tattoo places open up yet either. Yeah,
Damn.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, here in Texas it sucks right now, but
It's better than
There's
some
worse
places. Yeah,
places.
it could be worse. And I mean, now it looks like
I think we're pretty much open. Like,
Yeah, well,
everything's
I just got
almost
back
everything's open. Like, it sucks for y'all situation. Like, but
Yeah.
hopefully that's coming soon. Like, if it's the same thing for everywhere else, like we do have a lot of bars that are opening up as restaurants now, or technically considered that. So is that what they're trying to do for y'all? Is it going to be the same thing? Get a restaurant license? Like,
basically,
open up as
yeah.
restaurant,
It came down to the 51%.
just filtered
thing.
out. Yeah.
So everybody that had the 51% alcohol sales, you're still not able to open. Like that is still, we're in limbo basically. But
Yeah.
you can apply for the restaurant permit, which is the opposite. It's 51% food, of course, as opposed to liquor, and that seems to be okay right now. So that's what a lot of these places have done, and that's what we're gonna do as well. So it's gonna take, the process it takes a little while to get everything going, but I mean, it kind of worked out for us too, because I was talking to Migs earlier about this. Like our license was up in July, so we needed to get a new one anyway.
Yeah.
So might as well get something that's going to let us open up.
Yeah.
Then of course, I mean, we're gonna have food. We're gonna do it the right way and
For sure.
Yeah.
try to be as close to a restaurant as we can right now.
Do you know what kind of food you are looking to have?
I'm not real sure, man. We're gonna talk about that soon. We did barbecue in the past.
Right,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
And it
y'all were
worked pretty
doing
well,
y'all did have food at one point.
Yeah,
so
and
did y'all
it
just, like,
was
do
a
the
good
same menu, do the same stuff.
We're probably gonna be similar. Like I said, I
Why
really
not? Easy,
really have no
and
clue
you know what
right
you're
now.
doing,
But
yeah.
if I had to guess, that's probably what we do, just because we've had experience with it.
Exactly.
Not to mention it's Mumford's. I mean, we were working with Mumford's before. I mean, those guys are
Dude.
they're awesome people.
Well,
the
now
food's
I'm
great.
hungry.
Like, I don't know why we wouldn't do that again if,
Yeah.
unless it's something else new coming around that I don't know about. But
Mumford's is delicious barbecue.
It's great food, it's good people, man. They were always willing to help us out when we did that. It was about a year ago, I guess, when we did it. But
they've consistently had good barbecue throughout the
never
years.
had
Absolutely.
that.
Did you ever, whenever we worked together, you didn't have the barbecue at Cactus on Sundays?
No.
Really? So on Sundays back in the day,
we were doing for a while.
I forgot they used to do. Well, it was like different stuff.
I
each
didn't.
week,
Yeah.
I didn't
right?
work whenever they had that. I worked
that was
whenever
a while
they
back.
did.
I'm like,
Like when one of the girls would go make something, and then whenever they were doing the Chinese food
it was a while
from
back.
next door. But I didn't. I was like a little
I
press.
don't
I only
remember,
worked
but
the
it's
days
been a
I wanted
while.
to work.
But it was like every Sunday. It was like different food each week, or
Yeah.
like, or it was like different stuff every now and again. That's cool.
yeah. So we did that after we used to do barbecue Sundays, and we had a deal with Mumford's how they gave us a discount, and we would order this big pan of brisket, this big pan of sausage, and all these big jugs of barbecue sauce, and we just put it out, and it was a thing to where you can come in and drink some beer and have free barbecue,
Kinda like
Mumford's
buffet
barbecue.
style, just
Yeah,
like
we
get what you want.
didn't advertise it too much because it was obviously limited, right? It was what do you call it, limited buffet, but yeah, people that knew about it loved it, and of course, working there, it was also great because you're like, oh, today's Sunday, I get to go to work and eat for free today.
That's right. I don't have to worry about food tonight. Hey.
What are we doing
Yeah,
today?
yeah, but then of course we started cutting back our budget, and that's when we started doing like the Chinese food or
I love the
asking.
Chinese
Yeah.
Chinese
food.
food. I'm like, I
was
would have been there for every
that.
one of those
Like,
days.
It was
That's what I'm saying.
great.
Like, what year was this? How old was I? Was
Oh,
I even?
this was like
capable
2012.
of-
It
I was
was,
gonna
it
say,
I
was a
had like
while back.
customers
back.
like
Okay.
make me
Okay, I
plates and
just-
bring it to the bar because we had that rule where we couldn't really like walk around and be
Yeah.
like,
I'm
make
like,
me
I
a plate.
just turned 21. Just at the ripe age of 21 is
In 2012?
Yeah, or
Wow.
yeah. It was around there. I was like, when I got my first Honda. Yeah, I'm like,
I'm old.
So have y'all been to any bars or bar and grills recently?
I work at one,
I
but
haven't.
not really. I haven't like
I haven't been
gone.
able to check out any of the
haven't
new
ventured
places.
out.
I've checked out just won't. Okay, so restaurants. I've been at restaurants. You know, there's all the restaurants are open. A lot of them almost seem kind of like a bar scene when you go into these
Makeshift
restaurants.
bar.
They're open till 1. They're open till 12 a.m. Whatever. They're open, and you can be in there, get the same drinks, whatever, and they serve food till a certain time, and then after that, it's just drinks. So, yeah, there's a lot of restaurants that are very bar scene like, but I have recently been to one of them that has been open as has bar and grill, whatever it's considered. They serve food. It's been great, and it's just like I feel normal again. Like everything
You
seems
need
like
that.
it's okay.
That's nice.
That's what you need.
Everything seems okay, but I
Yeah.
mean, depending on how you feel about the coronavirus and how you feel about all of it, like
It's a little bit of
The
normalcy,
shining
I
light
guess.
in the middle of this
Gonna-
darkest
it's
times.
gonna give somebody anxiety. It's gonna give some people.
It's got to be tough.
I feel like
opening
living
a
in
new
a-
place.
Yeah,
in the
like-
middle
Yeah.
of a pandemic. It's
can
crazy to
go
me,
out,
man.
Tough opening a place in the middle of a pandemic. I feel like this is the best time to open a place.
Well, especially
everybody's
well,
like,
you're
I
right.
want to
mean,
go. I'm like okay.
Since a restaurant's okay,
Like the
I mean,
the places that want to make a ton of money and then just kind of like, you know, let their business kind of fizzle out. Like there's a few in town that do that. And I would think that like this is just kind of like their snatch and grab like time.
Now's
Danny,
the perfect time.
I would have to disagree with you.
Really?
I think opening a business now during the pandemic is tougher than opening one outside the pandemic or maybe afterwards.
Well, are
because
you speaking of just like the bar and like grill, or are you talking about
No,
any
even-
business?
even bar and
Because I'm just
grill.
talking about like these bars and grills that are opening up because they have been packed. Like,
well, they've also been packed
everywhere.
to what their 50% capacity, right? And they're also
Do you
starting.
think that it's been 50%?
Well, they're supposed to.
capacity?
They're supposed to.
But
Yeah.
Do you think that they are?
I mean, we don't know because we don't know how long this is going to last. Like,
But
what
also-
if
Exactly.
what if they start enforcing this 50% capacity more and more?
Well, that would be a different. But I haven't really seen any like people like trying to really enforce like anything. Like moonshine for sure, we went by every single thing they
Yeah.
said. Like we had people waiting outside and be like, 1 second, someone's fixing to leave. Like don't leave.
Yeah,
like
that
you know,
sucks so bad.
it did. It sucked. But,
It's like, oh man, they're about to leave. I
did.
promise. Just hang out.
And I'm not out there, so I have no clue. I just know like when I'm out and I see parking lots just packed. You know,
you're like,
but-
how is this possible?
But
it
also
wasn't able for-
patios. Like if they
Yeah.
have patios, they
That's
have
called like another
it's like
area
a different way of getting
yeah.
like way more people and like kind of like
they're outside.
Getting
They're
a
in the
little
open
bit more.
air. They don't have
Like,
to. Yeah, we can
um,
fit more people outside.
yeah. If you have
Then
a
inside.
patio, you can have a way higher capacity.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, because you're outside and there's it doesn't really go towards your capacity on social
Yeah.
distancing.
And a lot of places have the patios, so they can have like a higher capacity than say like moonshine, where
tiny
we couldn't
place,
have that many people. We don't have a patio.
Well, I do know Bird Dogs is a place I've been to a couple times the past few weeks, and they're more set up as a restaurant than a bar, like or as a traditional like hole in the wall bar or a nightclub. They're strictly they're really similar to the Hungry Jack's, which is the restaurant they were before.
I liked Hungry
with the
Jack's.
booths and plenty of tables, and they do have a bar top where you can sit out, but majority of the seats are at tables or at booths, and they have been packed. And I think it's also just a result from people here in Victoria just wanting something new.
Yeah.
It's because it's a new place.
And honestly, like after being like cooped up in your like cave forever, you're just like, oh my gosh, give me anything.
It
to
seemed
do.
like Victoria was
Please.
bad about that before this too, as far as new places opening. You know, it's going to be just slammed for like the first
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
least
Victoria
month it's
does
open,
like
just because it's
new,
something
shiny
new.
toys.
But
You know,
I mean,
like
especially
something
now that
new.
everybody's been cooped up for how long?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, there's
absolutely.
no-
Let's go
for
somewhere.
sure.
So I think people are ready for something new, but you know, I don't know how. You know, right now we have Bird Dogs, Froggies, and Empire that are
Yeah,
new,
I'm like,
Yeah.
but they're
brand
also
new.
running without places like Shooters and without Moonshines in the
Shooters
mix.
just opened.
They just opened,
Yeah,
so
just.
Okay, but those
With the
places are
grill.
still like those are considered restaurant bars, Shooters, and you know, other place like Arrow, Moonshine. Like
is
those are
definitely
considered
has
just
a
bars.
lot
Like
of
those
food,
are
like
yeah,
flying
they have
through
a
that
lot of
place.
food.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
a lot of people still see it as it's a bar.
Yes.
They're
No.
not thinking
I
Arrows
agree
is a
completely.
restaurant, like, but Froggies and 5D and, you know, those
Yeah.
places are considered restaurants. Like, people think of those as
No.
restaurants. But you can go in there and it'll be just like being.
And 5D has live
Like,
music.
it's kind of
yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was in there one day, I was like, oh,
Dude.
someone's playing guitar behind me. I just want
so
to stick.
loud. Yeah, you
Like
can
I mean,
be-
that was cool. I really liked it, but I was just surprised that it was
You couldn't
happening.
be in-
Like
yeah. That's what I mean.
Yamato
Like,
tried that before.
they've
COVID.
made it
They
very,
had- Yeah, they do
very like to
occasionally.
where you
Live
want to
music.
stay there all night long. That's the
yeah.
thing.
It's good
They've
for the
made it
local
to where
musicians
it-
too, because that they
Yeah.
took a hit
Yeah.
just like the bars did, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they
no, and people
don't have
don't-
anywhere
As
to
long
play.
as you
really talk
ordered-
about
as
that
long as
either.
you're ordering
Poor
some
babies.
food or you ordered food at some point, and then I mean you can keep drinking, like you're fine.
Honestly, if
So-
you're gonna drink all day, you should order food.
For,
Maybe this is a good
Yeah.
thing. Like, maybe this is good.
they're like
In an
you're
ideal
forced to
world,
buy
you know,
food.
you should eat
I
right.
think I'm just speaking of me. When I'm drinking all day, I should order food for myself.
Somebody put some food in that girl.
Yeah, I
Give her
actually,
food.
I think that the bar industry in general is more headed towards the bar and grill scene. I honestly think that the time of your normal dive bars, your shotgun bars, your even your nightclubs,
I agree
I think
with
those
that.
numbers are I think their days are numbered.
No.
Because people want the social atmosphere to where they could talk to each other, play games, have some kind of entertainment, but also order food so they can stay there. Because you know, DWIs or DUIs are becoming more and more of a thing, especially here in Texas.
Yeah.
So people want to go somewhere where they can have fun and be social and not have to jump around. Like, they want an environment that offers all that.
Yeah.
And those
Yeah.
bar,
Well,
these
it's
new
for,
bar
for
and
legal
grills.
purposes too, as far as a bar goes. I mean, it shows that you are trying to possibly sober people up. You know,
Yeah.
Like, hey, we
Yeah.
have some food.
You're making
like,
that
they're-
effort.
You can see
which
them
is
kind of getting beyond that point. Like,
Yeah.
hey, get some food. You know, get something on your stomach. It'll help with the being drunk part, but I was trying to say it was years ago. This was years ago. I mean, literally, the bar I worked at. I mean, they kept like Hot Pockets and little frozen stuff, and then like. It wasn't. We didn't advertise it, but if somebody was like, looks like they were on their way to getting pretty sloppy, it's like, hey man, eat this Hot Pocket.
Your
and,
good
like,
Samaritan effort.
We didn't even charge
to,
for them half the time. It was just like, just eat something, but just for legal purposes. I
Well,
mean,
now,
that
it's like
helps out a lot.
implementing that you have to have food because if not, you're like.
But
well,
like
it
you were
is
saying-
really like
You're gonna be drunk.
Bartenders do get kind of. I don't know. People really are getting arrested for people drunk driving and people like hurting themselves or dying, and Texas has like really high like speed limits, and people just don't know when to stop sometimes. And the bartenders are the ones that are at fault. So honestly, it's good that they're serving food.
It helps the bartender. For
Yeah,
sure.
it does like
yeah.
help the bartender a bit because people don't like know how to stop themselves. And even when you are sitting here like, hey man, I'm not serving you anymore, and then you deal with like an argument or you deal with someone like I've been grabbed like by my arm and like pulled over the bar before at Cactus.
God.
Yeah, G had to come grab him.
Because you cut him off?
Yeah, because I cut him off. I was like, I told him, I was like, no, man, like, no, I can't. Like, and I had opened the beer and he was talking to me and I was just like, oh no, man, I can't serve you this. And he grabbed it out of my hand.
Oh, wow.
And I was like grabbing it back and he grabbed me by my arm and tried to pull me over. And we had our speed racks like right in front of where the ice was. Like all those tops were right, like scratched me and like. No. It was a whole thing, but that's just how people are. Like when they're drinking, they just don't want to stop.
Nope. So some people can't control themselves, but that also brings up an interesting subject about the bar industry is what we're exposed to. And like to share some information with y'all about me is, when I turned 21 is when I started in the bar industry, and that first week in the industry changed my life. Forever. Like I was a nice sheltered boy, and I was entering this dark world. I was all like, these neon lights are cool looking, and then that was my attitude going into the bar industry. And like my first week, I'll tell y'all, I saw it was probably like my third day on the job as a bar back at this age. I saw a beer mug, a 24-ounce beer mug, solid glass. Like heavy glass, fly across in front of my view as I'm washing dishes. Just washing dishes, and I look up to see this beer mug just fly in midair and just like land on someone's face. Just boom. And this poor guy just fell like a sack of rocks.
That's terrible.
Nose broken. We had to call the ambulance because he was knocked out. There was so much blood. And the guy who threw it just booked it. And I was like...
chunked it out.
Because I was like... I'm an innocent young boy. Like I've never seen like something like that before in my life. I was just like, what do I do? Like, someone call the cops. Like I'm not. I don't know what to do. Like and I remember driving home that night and just thinking to myself like, what have I gotten myself into? Like
is it always like this?
Yeah. Now I'm on the constant lookout for it.
You're like, oh yeah, bartender.
But jokingly aside, we were exposed to a lot as bartenders. Like even when it comes to just finding a relationship to be in, that's real hard too because we work nights, we work weekends, we work holidays.
The schedule is the worst part.
It's the worst part.
It's easier to date someone in the industry than dating someone who has never experienced the industry because. Like they're sitting here like, oh well, what do you do at work all night? I'm just like, I'm working.
Yeah.
And then after work, I'm cleaning forever.
Right? Like, so what? A whole hour and a half after work, you're like.
Yeah. Like the place was a wreck.
What do you think I'm doing? Sneaking off while hundreds of people are sitting here like yelling at me for drinks?
Yeah.
Like you think that's what I'm doing? I don't want them to yell at me at all. I cut my finger and I have to apologize forever. I'm so sorry, please. I don't want to bleed in your drink.
Yeah, for real.
I have to stop and fix this
I
first.
have no time. If I don't text you back, I'm working very hard. Like,
I always hold the bartender as like the pinnacle worker in the service industry, just because our customers are intoxicated. Like you're not. This is not like imagine dealing with a Karen, working at Lowe's or something. Now imagine dealing with a drunk Karen. Like it's even worse. It's even worse.
We do deal with drunk Karens
all
all the time.
I used to always say though, man, it's like at least when they're drunk, they have an excuse, somewhat of an excuse. But if they're assholes sober, I mean that's just terrible. You know, like if I work at a place where they're not drunk and they're just assholes, I wouldn't know how to handle that. At least at a bar, I'm like, okay, man, like you've had a couple, I'm gonna let this slide a little bit. You're being kind of a dick, But like you said, like you're at Lowe's, it's just like, oh, you're just sober and an asshole all the time. Okay.
Where did this come from? Who hurt you?
Can't help you.
I'm your average everyday server, so yes, I deal with the people that just want to come in.
I just don't understand it though. I mean, whether you've been in the business or not, it's just
people are just unhappy and they want to just spread it.
Like,
hey, I had a real bad day. I'm just gonna make it better by making
bad day.
Your
They're
day
like,
bad.
oh my gosh, I came here. And you're out of oysters? I'm like, it's not even oyster season, so I don't know what you're mad about. I'm so confused about what you're mad about.
But yes, that's my fault. Directly my fault.
We just went from 7 other places that didn't have oysters. Well, are you not catching it? You're not getting it?
But why don't you understand
There's not.
this then?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, you just can't. There's some people that just don't understand. Our situation on the other side, like people don't understand our situation as servers, as bartenders, as just service industry. Like people don't understand.
You say oyster, there's seasonal stuff. Like you have no control over that. I mean, these are set in stone. For forever, mojitos. They were seasonal. They were summertime because that was the only time you could find mint in here.
Yeah, fresh mint.
And so people walking in, it's like Christmas, and they were, can I get a mojito? And I'm like, how in the hell do you think we have mint right now? It's December, but now, I mean, the times have changed.
You don't freeze dry it? What
year round now, and so it's changed a lot. But
we don't have raw oysters, but we do them fried. I'm not sure how that works. I don't know exactly.
I don't know how old you are.
I don't cook food though. I'm serving you. I'm sorry.
I'm the in between person, so I don't really know exactly what.
And that's why I'm completely over serving food. Like when I bartend, I just want to serve liquor or alcohol.
That's me.
I can't wait tables no more. Like I just don't have the patience for it.
I think it's just significantly harder when you're bartending to add like coming from like I started out, I'm pretty sure like the same place you started out was like Speed Bar.
Yeah.
And I feel like I told you earlier, like I feel like I'm an okay like speed bartender.
You're
Maybe
great.
when
You're
I
great.
was younger, I might have been a little bit better because I was young and not like old.
You're not old. You're not
everything
old.
hurts.
It makes a difference.
But it does. But like I just think that going from Speed Bar, I feel like I'm pretty good, and then I go like after COVID, you have to find something to pay your bills because like I don't know about other people, but I wasn't like accepted for unemployment, so I've been just using my savings this whole time. And so I had to find another job, and the only place is like restaurant bars. And
you have to deal with
going
food now. Like
to
there's
a
no way
restaurant
around
bar,
it.
let
man.
me tell you, I feel like just stupid. Like, I just feel dumb the whole time. I'm just like, put me in a club and I will just kill it. And here I'm just like, why do I have to make everyone's like? It's just like a whole different ballgame. Yeah. And it's hard to just like go from what you know and what you're doing. It's like taking you out of your position that you know and you love and putting you in a whole new one. It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, and it's confusing too because you're still making drinks and stuff. So you're like, oh, I know how to do this, but then you add in the whole element of like waiting on people
How do I
with
really
food.
need gravy on the side?
Yeah,
like,
you're
like I've never had to do that.
So
But
you
like,
want a gin and tonic and a side of gravy. Got it.
yeah,
I mean,
No, but even memorizing, like you can
It's
give me
different.
like 50 drinks, not 50. That was an exaggeration, but you can give me a lot of drinks, and I'll remember them all. But if you give me a lot of food, I'm sitting here like, wait, what did you want? Like the whole order. Like I didn't get one bit.
Start again from the top.
Yeah. Better yet, you write it down for me, slide it down the bar. I'm busy. Like it's just.
And
it's a whole different
and
thing.
also, on touching on that, there's different types of bartenders. Like you mentioned, like you were a speed bartender.
Yes.
Just like, bartenders in the restaurants, they're their own things too. And for the longest time, like I really didn't pay those guys the respect they deserve until I was running the Sendera downtown, and they were having to deal with like food at the bar, to-go orders, the tickets that were coming out from their servers.
That's why I was like, I will never.
And usually in a restaurant,
bartender at a restaurant.
Usually
It's
it's
awful.
one
Ever.
bartender. Usually it's for the whole place. And now during Corona, everyone wants to drink and just drink a lot when they go out to eat. It's not like, oh, we're gonna drink like a couple and we're gonna go to the bar.
yeah,
No, they're there for
this
a
is
reason.
the
First time I've been
We're
out
gonna
pretty
party.
much.
the only place you can go drink.
We're shutting
Yeah,
it
that's
down.
true.
Now,
It's like back to what
that's
you were
all
saying
it is.
before, though.
Restaurants is where you drink.
Even before the pandemic,
It's a
though,
lot.
it's like the little hole in the wall bars and like just bars with zero food. Like that's becoming a thing of the past. It
Yeah.
really is, man.
And I love those bars.
I was pretty opposed
right?
to it at first because I'm if I'm gonna go out and drink, I'm just gonna go drink. I don't want to eat. I'm gonna eat before, I'm gonna or not possibly not eat and get really drunk. But it's becoming it's their hand in hand. Like the craft cocktail bars are doing gastropubs, and they're incorporating all of these things now. And that's people expect that when they go out. How many times Moonshine Drinkery, literally in the name Moonshine Drinkery, people would come in and ask if we had food. I'm like, at what point did you think that we had food? Like, I have no
I'm
idea.
sorry.
But it's
Was it
just, it's that
advertised
type
somewhere?
of bar, though. It's a nice place, a little rustic kind of,
it's
somewhat
like almost-
craft
it
cocktails.
looks
And
kinda
like, what kind of food do you have? What kind of food options?
It's a very speakeasy bar.
Well, we don't have food options. We
Yeah.
just have booze. It is a drinkery, not an eatery. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's the changing times, man. They go hand in hand. And like I said, even before this, we had already contemplated, doing food, and we did
Mm-hmm.
do the barbecue thing for a while. And I mean, I'm becoming better about it, I guess. But I was very opposed to it at first, and it was aggravating telling people, I'm like, we don't have food, man, just booze.
It
Yeah.
is
But-
difficult. It adds.
But I mean, it's not a bad change. I was just, gotta set
You're
my ways.
such
'cause
a
I'm
positive,
old.
sweet baby angel.
I'm trying real hard.
We
all
just
right?
started at a bar, and the whole time I'm just like, oh my
I'm
god.
trying to keep Danny sane. Like, it's gonna be okay. Tomorrow's gonna be better.
Like, oh my
Tomorrow's
god, I'm just like, I was like, oh my god, just fire me.
That first
It
night
was really just slammed.
in her defense,
hold
that
on,
first
Danny.
night was rough, man. It was busy.
Hold on, I want to ask you more about where you're currently working at right now, but first, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back to this, all right?
Sounds good.
Hey there. Did you catch a new graphic we have at the beginning of our video? That was actually made by a good friend of mine, Salas, who is a talented graphic designer local to Victoria, Texas. I'll go ahead and I'll post his Facebook and Instagram page in the description of this video. And please reach out to me if you have any graphic design work that you need done. He's very professional and mad talented. I'd just like to thank Crew once again for making that graphic for me. I love it. I can't wait to use it on all my videos. Thank you so much, bud. Back to the podcast. Okay, and we're back. So us being bartenders and dealing with food, like I used to run a restaurant here in Victoria downtown, and man, so dealing with servers that have no bar knowledge is a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Example, I remember one time I got a ticket. I didn't have a bartender on staff, and I was making all the drinks that came into the bar, and they reined in a rum and coke, and they tagged it or modified it, and they said they wanted it spicy. So guess what they wanted? They wanted spiced rum and coke, like a Captain Morgan's and coke.
Dude, you muddle jalapenos in it?
Exactly. So
Yeah,
she
I'll
came,
make it
the
spicy
server
for
came up to
you.
the bar, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what do you want? She's like, I don't know. They asked for spiced rum. And I was all like, oh, what do you think? Like Captain Morgan's? There's a spiced rum. Not
Why'd you put
spicy
Captain?
rum, you jackass. But it's like, I get it. You're not a bartender. You don't know things. But if you're in the service industry, you need to know your products. But
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And
I
see-
take a lot of this stuff for granted, I guess. Just
Yeah.
how long we've been doing it, or at least
Yeah.
how long I've been
Right?
doing it. It's like,
It's-
you're dumb. Like, yeah, you know.
it's the arrogance of the bartender, which is a staple in our personality. I always had the rule that the most successful bartenders were the arrogant
You need to
ones.
be confident. For sure.
Dude, I mean, we are. I mean, a good bartender is a confident bartender.
At Cactus, they used to call us prima donnas.
Yeah,
Like, who was it?
I know exactly. I know who you're talking about. I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about.
You used to
And,
call us all
yeah.
prima donnas.
But it's because you're like, I'm a prima donna because I know my shit and I produce results. Like, you know?
That's
Make
exactly right.
money.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
like,
the confidence. I think confidence more than arrogance, really. You know?
Yeah.
But
It is.
I was
It is.
telling-
It is
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you.
It's a
Yes,
necess-
it's just
it's necessary,
knowing that you
though.
know what you're talking about and what you're doing.
being,
I was
being
telling
able
Aubrey
to-
earlier,
Yeah.
when I get behind the bar, it's like almost like and scene. Like you are just a completely different person.
Yeah, there's
Like,
a
I am
switch
not
that you
the same
flip.
person
Yeah.
outside of the bar.
No.
Yeah.
At the bar, I've got like a dirty personality. Like I'm just like
Right, there's
just
so
like a
much you
whole
see with
different
yeah.
person.
No,
I'm
I get
10% dumber. Like everyone is funny, but like you
No, yeah, I get that I'm
have-
fake all the time as
Yes.
a server. They're
Like,
like,
there's parts
oh my
about
god,
me that's
Aubrey, you're
right.
so fake, and I'm like, well, what?
making
Do you
money.
want me to walk up to the table and be like, what's up, asshole? How's it
Right? I
going?
mean, nobody
I
makes.
Do you want me to talk to you like I
want
would
to
to
serve
you as my server friend? Like, what do you expect?
You don't make
No,
money
no.
with realistic attitude.
Do you want me to be?
Like,
yeah.
Like you have this different, like it's just like a
And-
show.
Yeah.
Like you
yeah.
are just a different
And it's not.
personality.
It's not
Like-
fake, but it is just. This is who I need to be at this time. Like I'm
people
not.
on their Facebooks
Absolutely.
aren't how they are at their jobs
yeah,
all the time.
I'm like I'm not fake. I
you know?
really I do like people and I do like to talk to
Yeah.
people and
Yeah.
I do enjoy this. Like you think I'm being fake, but no, I'm just being professional. Like I'm being professional. That's what more I look at it as is being professional.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Well,
this
like-
is how I make my money. So
Yeah.
if I'm not nice and if I'm not, doing and saying the things that people want to hear, like you're not gonna make money. You're not
no,
like.
no.
yeah, you have
Yeah.
to like
People go
just
to-
be the part when you're at work.
People go to a bar to
Exactly.
have a good time. They don't want you being
Yeah,
the
yeah.
asshole. Even
Like-
though you may be having like the worst day of your life, it's as soon as you walk
You
into
have to
the
put
bar, you
that
have to,
mask on.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
change it. You have to.
That
nobody
bartender
wants to hang out with
smile.
somebody.
For
It's
sure.
it's funny how you say it's like a show because it's funny because whenever I used to bar back for Shadow, that was one of the things we used to like scream out like it's showtime like right when we started and like he would Shadow would get chalk from the pool tables and do the whole like LeBron James thing like to start off our night just to pump each other up because we work speed bar so it was like you wanted that high energy
No,
and I'll go
you.
behind his neck and like slap his neck
No,
like a
you.
sumo wrestler and just be like it's showtime guys because it is it's a flip it's a switch that you flip
Yeah.
and it's like a performer like you're going on to perform but you're doing a service to someone by making them drinks.
Well,
yes.
speaking of you and like you being a bar back, I remember working at Cactus and you as a bar back every time. All right,
Yeah.
let's go. I mean, I feel like I genuinely feel in my heart like no bartender is like you're only as good as your bar back because your bar back is hyping you up, doing all the just and like honestly, I'm pretty sure I've asked you to do so many just dumb, not your
dumb
job things, but you did it because you're like, you know what? Like almost, and it, I don't care what I'm saying. Like a pimp. Like you're like, oh, she's making me money. I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the attitude you have.
But
Like,
bartenders are only as good as their bar backs.
Yeah.
Genuinely why I was like, hey, come help me out. Like
yeah,
your job.
I always tell bartenders like you need to work some bar back shifts so you understand the whole dynamics of the bar. Like when you're just thrown into a bartending job and you're just making drinks, you have no idea what goes into that bar, how much work is put in.
like
Like,
the setup,
you're
even.
doing the finishing touches of what the bar is supposed to do, which is make
Yeah.
drinks. There's a bunch of work that goes into it. And then working in other bars. So I've worked at many different types of bars. I'm sure Brent, you have too. Another one that was an eye opener for me is when I was working at a live venue, to where all we did was do shows. Like every day we had a band, and it could be anyone from the Bart Crow band, from freaking who knows, Casey Donahue. Like, you know, a lot of Texas country came through. Here in Victoria, also in Austin too, I did a lot of live venue stuff too, and the work that would go into those shows or those nights, like I would show up to my bar shift like 3 hours early just because we didn't really have bar backs, and we would have like maybe one guy bar backing, but we also had to help up with the band setup too. That was a whole different aspect of it.
You get paid extra?
I mean, just hourly, but it was just like us like rolling in stuff or whatever, getting, you know, band set up with stuff, like, you know, making sure the band had the waters and stuff like that, and it was a lot of work. And like, you know, I'm sure every bar or venue is different, because I worked at another venue in Austin that we just came in as a bartender and our shit was already set up for us.
I didn't know you worked in Austin.
Oh yeah, I worked at a couple of bars off 6th Street.
Really?
My friend runs a few bars on 6th Street.
Really?
Lindsay Petita.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Oh.
I
forget that I'm kind of younger
I
than
would
you.
love to meet her though, but I did work at a couple bars
Sweetheart.
off at 6th Street. One was a venue. Both of them, I want to say, aren't around anymore.
What bars?
Which one?
Scoot Inn was one I did a few shows at, and then also one called The Parish. I know doesn't exist anymore. I don't know about Scoot Inn. They were all under ATX brands. But yeah, it was definitely a different environment. But working here in Schrader Hall, that was another eye opener too.
I bet that was fun.
Dude,
It was very fun. A lot of Texas
very
country would
fun.
come through. I mean, I didn't really care to meet the country singers, but I was just more about like, let's make this fucking money, because
venue,
No,
the venue itself
it's
is great.
Just like getting pumped up to just like perform. Like, oh, I'm just fucking badass. I could get everybody. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
No, but people were going to come in. You were going to make money, especially that being a beer and wine bar only. Like,
No, we actually had a full bar. So that was
okay.
that
Oh,
was
this is back in
my
the
see,
day.
I thought it was
This
like
was
a
back
beer,
in
like
the
beer
day.
tending.
No, it
you
wasn't.
Just, like
This was back-
Sturgis is all
yeah.
like beers.
no, we,
This was
it
back in the
was
day when
it
they
was
actually
full
did the
bar.
bar-
We had
the whole
we had
bar
bottles. It was
too.
actually my first bar management job, because eventually I got promoted to bar manager.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was all speed bar. So my Cactus experience working that
Yes.
nightclub got me going. Like, oh, I know how to do
Yes.
this. Like, you know, good old our managers from there taught me a lot of stuff that I carried with me to Schrader as far as inventory and just staffing goes. Like how,
Oh,
how
like
many?
you were managing there.
Yeah,
Dude, he was
I was a
getting
bar
it over
manager.
there at Schrader.
I like bartending. I don't wish to manage.
To man, right?
I don't wish to have all
It-
that extra pressure on me.
It's a
Working
rough
in the
step.
restaurant
So
industry, all of it, I would
I
never,
just know that
ever
there's
want-
so much that goes into it.
I would never want to be
Yeah.
in charge of anything that has to do with
Exactly.
serving, like, or like, you know, managing people that are having to run around like cockroaches. Like, no, I'm
fucking
not like.
numbers.
Not everybody's built for that. That's for sure. It takes a different
bar management
mentality,
stuff,
for
and
sure.
I'm sure Brent, you know, because
He does.
You've been in bar management too, but
big
the
old
thing
manager.
is that, like, you know, it comes with a couple of things. First is a lot of responsibility,
Yes,
and that
so
responsibility also entails you managing personnel that are bartenders, which I said are very confident and cocky individuals.
Right?
Say
They're
it,
like,
say it.
you
Say
are
it.
only in charge of me for doing what I do what you did.
Yeah.
And you're trying to tell me that
They're
I'm
sitting there
can't
like,
do
I'm
what
the
you did.
star.
Like,
Yeah, you're dealing with a bunch of prima donnas.
I'm the
Yeah,
star of the
absolutely.
show.
so
I get
you-
it done.
Yeah,
It's like I said, it's not for everybody.
I wasn't
to
like
have
that
to
when I
deal
worked
with
at Cactus. I was
15
a
rock
shit.
stars. You know what I mean? It's
I was a
different.
fucking shit.
and the other thing on it is it's also a big pay cut.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, 'cause
Hey,
at
yeah.
Cactus-
Who wants to go from making all the tips to managing the people that make all the tips and just getting salary?
Not
Yeah.
Whatever,
one
like
person
salary, right?
believes
Like,
me.
You're just making salary.
Yeah.
No tips. Salary, no tips.
No one
wow,
believes me.
that's real.
That's why I've gone
real
back and
sad.
forth a lot of times.
That's real sad.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'd rather just bartend. But
So what were you
sure.
saying? What were you saying, Danny? No one believes you on what?
No one ever believes me on how much we actually made at Cactus.
Oh, we were rock stars at Cactus.
I don't understand where it went. I don't know.
She's like,
I do, but I don't want to admit it. But
I should be a billionaire, and I should be living in a mansion on top of a hill in California. I don't know, but
unbelievable how and that was my first job, and first at least like bartending job, because I worked at like treatment centers before, and you actually got me the job.
Cactus? Yeah. I remember you asked me. I
know you, sweet baby. Thank you. But I was very arrogant. I was like really just like, oh, I'm the shit. And I really wasn't. But like I made so much money, and I genuinely thought that's how much you make everywhere in life. I was like, everyone makes $500 a day. Fuck this.
No, we were so spoiled. We were so spoiled at Cactus. We added the best.
No, I got presents too.
right? It was like $500.
I would get presents.
Some people would just bring me.
I literally got a laptop.
I made $700 and I just got a car.
A laptop from a customer. My tires on my car.
Dude.
Just tons of stuff.
See, I never had that problem because I'm an ugly dude. So
yeah, Brent, we have it hard. We have it
it's
hard.
a little harder for us.
I'm Brent, if you put on a crop tops and some Daisy Dukes like I wore.
I'll talk about sports and strip clubs all day. You know, that's where we're going.
No. I'm going to tell you my demographic, and this is going to surprise you. It's not young people. Old men love me. It's weird.
Yeah,
Old country men.
Me too.
Old men love any girl at a bar.
I look like what their moms would like roll over in their graves about.
Yeah, they want to like.
They're like, ooh, you're bad.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you're
really
bad.
not.
I'm gonna make my family so mad.
It's either they love me or they're like, oh, honey, you'd be so much prettier without all of that.
The old guy from the other night.
Oh, there was a man at the bar the other night that looked like he wanted to murder me.
He was looking at her like,
oh, honey, why did you put those in your ears?
I was like, Danny, show him your split tongue. I bet that
He
really
did.
Oh, you egg it on?
No, there was an old man that seriously,
he was just staring
at me, just like genuinely disgusted.
Oh my God.
And I wasn't even my loud, obnoxious, just too much self. I was being just a good girl.
He was
Just
an older
normal,
gentleman.
First week at my job, like me, and he was just like. Just disgusted. I wasn't wearing little shorts. All like tattoos on my legs were covered. I was wearing pants, and he just was just disgusted with me.
Wow. It was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
I looked at Brent. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do about this.
Was this at the new place that y'all were working
Yes.
at? So y'all went from bartending in a small town like Victoria to bartending in an even smaller town.
Yeah.
Because the population of Telford, I don't even know what it is.
It's
where
Inez.
Oh, Inez.
Inez. The
It has to be in the
Bomb
hundreds,
Diggity,
Oh,
right?
the Bomb Diggity. Okay.
It's an awesome place, man. Food's
No clue.
great.
I should look
Haven't
it
been
up.
there. Haven't been there.
I should.
I should look it up. I should know it, but I don't. But it's a small
It
town.
is
Never been there.
honestly
Don't
like
know.
we
Like,
worked Saturday and
I've heard
it
about
was
it.
packed.
I've heard about it.
I didn't
Yeah, some
have
live
time.
music. I mean, it's a cool
freaking,
place.
Like,
I mean, like the food's good.
Anything.
Everything like
Food's great.
It's
the food is stupid good.
bomb. Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Pretty
gosh, and they have like barbecue pits like in the back, so they're like cooking. I don't know what they cook in the barbecue pit because I've only been there like a couple days, but they cook things in a barbecue pit, so you have that just smoky like smell and taste to a lot of the food. And I'm just like,
What are the hours? I really don't know.
Aubrey, they're
anything
new.
about it.
I really don't know.
I
worked 2
literally
days. I have
worked
no idea.
3 days.
Well, I mean,
I
because
wanna
it
say
was
they're
a
like
place
Wednesday
that was
through
open
Saturday.
before, right?
They're
Like, I don't know if
open
anybody else was
Wednesday through
familiar with it.
Saturday, yes.
I have heard
And they
of-
close at
it's
10
been around for a couple-
due
about
to
like 2
a
years.
coronavirus.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's been open for a couple years. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. I've never been in the couple of years that they were open. I don't know if y'all were familiar with the hours that they were or like what they were doing.
It's,
Like,
it's
kind of
fucking
different now
poppin',
with the
though.
whole COVID thing.
Yeah,
but,
it's different now,
Lately,
but-
it's been till 10.
It's like I didn't expect like a place from like out of town to be so just popping. Like, there's
yeah.
so many people there.
See, and that's what I
And-
thought about Breezy's
and
too. Like that's
genuinely-
out there. It's a place that's kind of further away.
I haven't been to that place
but
yet either. But
in
people
town.
go. It's popping. Like as long as
I
the
hear the
food's
food's
good,
really
as long,
great there,
yeah,
too.
that's what I mean.
I haven't been,
as long as
but-
the food's good, as long as
Yeah,
the
no,
people
no.
like you're around the same
Well,
people, and
So,
it's not that far.
here's some facts about the Bomb Diggity. So
Okay. I was like,
it's
tell
in
me.
it's in
about them.
Inez, which has a population of roughly 2,100 people.
And it is how long of a drive from Victoria?
It's like 17 minutes from my house.
Less than
Little
20.
under
It's
20
20 minute drive, roughly 20 minute drive.
Okay.
And it's like right off of the highway too.
They're-
It's like
Yeah,
they are opened Wednesday through Saturday. Normally in all night shifts from 5 to
We close at 10.
to 10, and then on Fridays and Saturdays they close at midnight.
Hey, man.
So
Not
that's-
right now.
yeah,
Not right
that's-
now.
that's
Now,
the
now
normal-
it's 10.
But with
Okay.
the-
Their license is till like I want to say midnight,
Yeah.
but
With the
like at
COVID
10,
thing,
But they
Yeah.
only
like,
open
you know,
up midday,
Yeah.
no matter what.
And
I
they're-
believe
and they're-
so. Yeah, I don't think they're
there's
open for
no-
lunch or
on
anything.
Saturdays we open
There's
at
no
4.
lunch.
On Fridays we open at 5, and then like Wednesday, Thursday it's 5.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I have to say one thing about this place that is completely different than any other place I've worked in. I've worked in like genuinely a lot of bars the past few years, and the people there, like versus Victoria, they are so nice. Like that one man was the only one man looking at crazy.
He wasn't very
That's
vocal
very
either. He was just giving
misleading
some dirty
of, like, the
looks.
people
For that
there,
one
but
guy.
But yeah,
like,
everybody was super
I'm
nice.
new.
Super nice.
I'm like sitting here because there isn't really like a lot of training. They're like, you're a bartender, bartend. You know, do your job. Like basically. So
Yeah.
we're basically working and figuring things out. We have like a book of like the thing, like all their drinks that are their own, like the own
Specialty
Bomb
drinks.
Diggity's
Yeah.
specialty drinks.
Which also,
A lot.
man, the variety and
Yes.
the different options as far as
Top
like
tier,
flavors and alcohols
honestly.
and it is pretty amazing. I was
Yeah.
not expecting that. Like, I mean,
Especially in a
crazy-
small town of 2,100.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
crazy
they really
infused,
have like a more
liquors
elegant
and-
taste
Wow.
for
Yeah,
this
it's-
small
Okay.
town.
Yeah, I was
That's
very,
so many
very
wines.
impressed. Absolutely.
So
Right now,
many different
10 o'clock.
things.
10 o'clock is when
Yeah.
you're there too. Right now. Like
Yeah,
that's-
Well,
at the moment. Yeah.
Not Wednesday through
Wednesday through Saturday.
But
Yeah. But
But,
that's what I
they're
mean,
they're
like, right
they're very patient because I'm learning all these brand new drinks, and I'm trying to do all this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm brand new, so I'm teaching myself as I'm also working a very, very busy shift. And people are very patient with me. They're very
Nice.
That's
nice,
awesome. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's something I honestly don't get a lot of. Like being a bartender.
I think you're experiencing Southern hospitality, which you don't really see in Victoria. Because I feel like
Yeah.
Victoria.
Because right now we're bringing a lot of new people in that are not from Victoria. Like we have a lot of people for college, for business, for
Yeah.
oil field, for everything. Like we are bringing in a lot of people that are not from.
You're talking about Baytown?
No, everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
Well, because we have
Yes,
UHB.
like, as I meet, as a server, I meet a lot of these people, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Yeah.
a little different because
They're
yes,
trying to make
Victoria
it
is
a
a
college
crossroads.
town.
So it's a college town. We're bringing in college
They're
students. We're
trying.
bringing in literally just like there are so many people coming in from everywhere. So yes, it is hard to come across now. Even though Victoria, we're all considered we all have Southern hospitality. We're all that
Yeah.
same type of person, but right now. Yes, there are a lot of different people coming into town to where it's making Victoria a little more like, yeah, are they nice or are they good people
So-
or are they like really rude? I don't know, I
Victoria-
can't tell.
Everywhere I've worked, I feel like there's been like people that are just impatient.
Yeah.
Like in bigger cities in Texas, people understand like you're gonna wait for a drink. It's one
Yeah.
person. They're a human. They're not like a robot
Right?
making
Like, what
these
are you
like
supposed to do?
mass producing these. Like I'm making one drink at a time. Maybe if I'm making some shots, I'm making more or like a few
Or
drinks.
like my bad, I had to come back and ask you
Or like-
again.
like I
What did you
said,
order? And
yeah.
they're like,
Yeah, like
you
earlier.
can't remember my word. It's like, dang girl, I just took like 7 different
Yeah,
orders.
like
What am I
you're
supposed to
human.
do? Yeah,
You're a person. Like you
Yeah.
can cut your finger and need to leave.
Yeah, and they're like, oh,
Like I need to go to the bathroom, and they don't just bombard you. Like
I
these
feel like I
people
can't go
are
to the restroom and
genuinely
stuff.
like the patrons are just sweet, and they're like the whole time I'm just telling them because as a bartender you learn to be like, hey, I am new, just I'll get you. I see you
Of
there.
course.
You acknowledge them. Like as a good bartender, you don't just ignore people the whole time when you're busy. You just acknowledge them and show them that you aren't just ignoring them. And like they're sitting here like, oh yeah, no, it's okay. I'm like, what?
It's so nice, right? You're
I've
like,
never gotten this. Give me a second while I cry. Like, it's so sweet.
you're just trying to think like,
It
I'm
just
not used to the
give me one
niceness.
more second while I
used to. Victoria
appreciate
is
this.
very like instant gratification.
Yeah.
Like always, right now,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here. Like,
or it's like because they think because they know you that
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
any different.
Well,
They're
like-
like, hey, you know me, I'm your friend. Like, no, don't worry, I got you. Like, I'm gonna just start yelling out drink orders and imagine that they're gonna give me. It's like, damn, dude, no.
yeah, you're like
I would
we.
say Victoria.
I'm still human and I'm gonna do my job the way I'm supposed to be doing it.
I would say Victoria is very Texas. Like we want that instant. We do. We are. That's how we are. We're like we want it now and we want it quickly and we don't want to spend that much money.
But no,
Like,
she,
that's
that
really
too.
how
And
it
it
is
better be
here.
she is exactly right though with the whole like, oh, you know me. You're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
well, I also know most of this town.
'Cause
is
we're
very
in
small.
Victoria.
Everybody, you're like, I
It's
literally know
very
that
small.
person, like literally every person that's walked up, I've seen their face.
The
and
same
I know
300
them,
people go to
and
the bar.
I waited
I
on them,
recognize
and
you.
they think that they know me too, and
Like,
so
it's
like
Victoria
we
probably
all
related
know
to
each
half of
other.
them, so-
So-
Yeah, and this is pretty much going full circle to where I originally said that Victoria just has a very healthy bar industry. It's a drinking town. Bartenders
all we
know
have to
a
do.
lot of the population here in
Yes,
Victoria because
dude.
the population itself is a lot of them go out.
Sure.
So like I can't
all
go
we
to.
have
I love going to HEB Plus because I'm gonna go to HEB Plus and every aisle I go down I'm gonna know somebody. Like oh
That's
man,
why
what's
I
up,
hate
Migs?
going to HEB.
I love it. I love
That's
the social
literally why I
interaction.
dislike going to like I have the opposite. I don't want to see anybody.
Oh, I love it. I love
You
it.
are not like a female bartender.
That's
though.
true.
I'm like,
If I go out without like my whole bartender full face of makeup, fake eyelashes, people are like, "Oh, well, you're no model before, but like, oh wow, I didn't recognize you." Like, oh, thank you. I have self-esteem to spare.
Did that
Thanks.
on purpose.
No, like I get that all the time from like since I started working at Cactus. Like if I go somewhere without makeup and I see someone, they're just like, "Hi."
well, I'm like, that's
what my
why
face looks
I
like,
go
thanks.
out all the time in both face. I'm like, I can go out with no makeup and I will go
I'm
out with makeup and
Genuinely terrified.
definitely most of the times when I go out without makeup, they're like, are you okay? Are you sick?
What's wrong with
Oh,
you?
must be
no.
sick.
People have
I
no
always got that I
manners.
was
Terrible.
sick, and I'm like, oh.
Hey, no, this is just how I always look. Thanks.
I just
yeah.
like-
Well, you're no fucking beauty.
I guess I was sick since the day I was born. I don't
terrible.
know.
See, Brent, this is where me and you come in. We're
I
fine.
can't relate.
We wake up and go straight to work, and we're okay.
Dudes, yeah,
I look like this all
Miguel,
the time.
shave your
All
beard
the
off
time.
tomorrow. And
No,
see.
I would. No, why?
No.
Then you'll get. Are you okay?
No,
Or
I'm
did
looking to
you-
trim it down,
or
though.
did something
I mean,
wrong?
I wanted.
It
I wanted
is
to ask Martin
a
to trim it down.
lot.
It's a lot, and it's hot.
I mean, it's
as
just
fuck
long.
right now.
Dude.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
It
that's
is.
hot, Miguel. Look at my
Oh.
head.
No, that's already.
Look at
That makes
our
me.
heads.
That would drive me nuts.
Tell me.
I get it, but y'all could pick it up, put it
You
wherever.
can braid that.
I could, but man,
You
it
could
looks,
braid
it looks
it.
dumb. It looks dumb on me.
It would look dumb, but you can braid it.
Yeah.
You feel better.
I start cutting mine.
I'd rather
Dude,
suffer.
It's long as fuck.
Mine's
really.
just
Do
white.
it
I
long.
look like
rainbows.
Santa
Do that
Claus.
one
I
guy.
want to get with Martin and see if he will trim it up for me. I do
He
something.
will, but how long has it been since you've had a trim?
Honestly, at this point, we can donate it
I've-
to like cancer.
I've
like,
never
patients.
trimmed
yeah,
it.
like you cut
So
off like at
long.
least 11 inches. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe somewhere
Um,
someone is sad that they're missing their beard and they can like do some like, like
Put it in a ponytail.
You know?
and just reattach
Yeah,
it to
something.
somebody
This
else.
beard started just from laziness. Like
You
I just
can
didn't
donate it.
shave for a few months,
Dude,
and
it's
then
the
it was
fact
growing
that-
out, and I was like, I'm gonna keep this going and
You
see
have
what
strands.
happens.
Like the
Yeah.
strands of hair
see that.
look long. Like you could make that into a wig. Like those wouldn't even
I
just
mean,
you got
be
that's,
some weave
somebody
hairs
else's
in the
beard
beard.
hair.
Dude,
Like
that's long.
it is so like it's so silky and like
Honestly,
it's not just a normal beard. It's straight up like
it's a personality.
you could
Oh, it's a lifestyle.
In essence,
you could donate it is what I'm saying. No,
But-
you could donate.
but,
is all
I-
I'm
I
saying.
concur.
I am looking to trim it, and I was gonna hit up Martin to see if he can do something to where it's just not
Hey
like
Martin,
wild
hit him
man.
up.
Yeah,
Just
Martin, fucking hit
cornrows.
me up,
Martin,
dude.
From
Martin, he's gonna hit you up.
Oh, but
And-
I
if
am,
you
I am.
do cut it off, can you leave chops? Because I think that would be cool.
Oh, like, yeah, I'm keeping all this. Like, you know, I might. What I was thinking about was just trimming up the sides, like right here, like actually on my face, shortening this up, but actually keeping some length down here, just to where it's not like wild man looking, where I'm looking homeless.
What
you
I'm
know?
confused is your eyebrows don't match the beard. Like you should have like a Fing Wei, like
Oh.
you should
Bigger
you should have some
eyebrows.
Fing eyebrows.
Well, I'll get with you and you can help me, like, you know, draw them on or
You
something.
need
You know?
some Master Splint
Bet.
eyebrows. That's what she's trying to
do
say.
it.
You need some Master
I draw
Splint
my eyebrows on every day.
Dude,
growing
yeah.
off on the side.
In the bars, I always fuck with people who say that. I always tell them that I'm like of Mongolian descent. Say my mom's like, oh, my mom's from Northern Chinese or whatever, like, you know. And people believe me. They're like, what, for
Your
real?
eyes
And I'm like, look at my eyes, look at my
Asian
mustache.
descent.
Like,
you
know,
totally
like,
pass for that,
yeah.
for sure.
I could see it,
Yeah, and people believe me.
and I enjoy it.
I told my boss, at Dodge that I was Chinese, whatever, and he believed me for a while until he met my parents.
They know you're just Mexican.
Like, oh, here it is. Yeah.
No, Miguel is Spanish. I feel like we've had these arguments.
We've had.
There's a difference between Spanish and Mexican.
That is true. That is true.
Yes.
Big difference.
You are Spanish?
All right, guys. Yeah, I'll talk more about this after the break, and we'll be right back. Hey, this episode of Elite4 podcast is sponsored by Moonstone. Would you like to harness the power of the moon or have a Clefairy that you want to evolve? Well, now you can with Moonstone. Moonstone has unique properties allowing you to harness blunt waves emitted from the moon and also make certain species of Pokemon evolve like that. Actually, this is a piece of quartz I found on the ground. It's not real, but if you want to be a real sponsor, please give us an email and I can stop doing these fake advertising sponsorships. It will be great for both of us. Yeah.
For half of them.
All right, guys, we're back. To start off things again, I just wanted to ask y'all because I was thinking, you know, on the break, what's the craziest tip y'all have ever got behind the bar, or at a serving table for you, Aubrey?
Oh, it was $100 bill. It was Christmas time. She was feeling real Christmassy. What is it? The holiday.
Generous.
She was
Holiday
feeling the
generosity.
holiday cheer. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was $100 tip on like
Gotta love the
some
holiday
lady
tips,
with
man.
her kids, and was unexpected as hell. Like
A Benji's
Nice.
always a good tip, man. I'll take a Benji any day.
Absolutely.
I love 100.
Yeah. What about you, Brent? Do you have any? You have a lot of bar
I
experience.
mean, probably the weirdest. To me, I guess the weirdest tips I've gotten is just the random drugs. But you know, it is what it is. People just throw
Here's
whatever
the
in those tip
20.
jars at the end of the night. I mean, there's been condoms.
Oh.
What else? Like it just. You never really know what you're gonna see in there.
Condoms, drugs. I'll take both.
Lottery tickets.
Drugs, yeah.
I mean, it's been kind of all over the place.
Ew,
yeah.
I've got lottery tickets like instead of money before.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
To work
money,
for it
you know?
more? So I have to work more for
I've
this
never
tip?
thought of it like that. Yeah, you have to work
Find
for
out what
more.
you're gonna get for your tip.
Yeah.
It could
Find
be
out.
nothing
Ooh.
or like $500.
The tip
Who
is the
knows?
mystery.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I feel like usually like the last 10 to 15 minutes of the night, man, anything goes with those tip jars. Like, yeah, just throw this in there, whatever. What you got in your
Throw
pocket?
it
Throw it in there. Here's a joint, whatever. Yeah. It's
What, Danny? So you say lottery tickets for you is the weirdest ones? You never got like a weird tip or it's like a crazy tip?
I have gotten the most in cash I have gotten was $600
Whoa.
for new tires on my car, and he was like moving, and it was like a long-term customer.
Okay.
And he was like, "It's my
That's
last
cool.
big
That's
tip,
awesome.
whatever." And then the like biggest like present I guess I've gotten was I will be receiving for my birthday fake boobs. I will be getting
Nice. A
them
boob
in
job.
the future soon.
From
Yeah.
a bar patron?
From someone I met
Yeah.
at a bar who I
must be doing it
I
wrong. I don't
mentioned
know.
that I would like them. Like, you know, I used to always joke around like on my tip jars, like
Yeah.
tips for tits. You know, when I was
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Cactus.
yeah. That's a common one. Yeah.
And then
But
he just
you know,
like
he's like, oh, you know, that's very like easy to get. I'm like, oh yeah, really super easy. But he's like, no, like
he's like, no, literally, I'll give you the
I
money.
will give
Go do
you
it.
money for your boobs. I'll set it up. I'll like look up the doctor, and on the 15th, actually, I'm going to my last appointment where I will be paying for them, and I will be receiving them in October.
I need
So-
to
Well,
work on my
congrats.
clientele.
Hell
I
yeah.
need to work on my clientele.
Keep
My
up
regulars
our
need to step
business.
it up.
Yeah.
Step it
Follow
up.
through.
Yo, you
Not
meet
that I want
really
fake boobs, but,
generous
you know,
people,
something
honestly.
equivalent would be nice.
Sometimes you meet really generous people.
I mean, so he was a long time patron? Like, you know-
through I honestly like multiple bars I've been working at, like we're like friends now.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
been
nice.
multiple times, and then
Yeah,
just like
like
this last time,
he
was like,
he had went to one bar I was working at, and when I went to other bars, he would like come back and
He'll
like be
follow
like,
you, yeah.
oh yeah, which that happens a lot. Like multiple customers will follow you to other bartending
yeah.
gigs that you have, and they'll like
and
you know
he's,
they,
like,
like, hang out
your
with you.
clientele, yeah.
Yeah,
it's all amicable. Like it's all like you. There's nothing.
like on the
he
up and
just
up, I
likes
guess.
you as a person.
Yeah,
and-
no, nothing like
No,
in
yeah, that's what I
any
mean.
other way.
That's what
but
I mean.
Just like
it's
yeah,
all
just-
like just as a bartender,
I-
you have
I-
met somebody that over the years.
I knew a girl
feels
that got
like-
diamond earrings.
What?
Huge diamond. When I was working in Cactus, she got huge diamond earrings, I guess. I honestly didn't see the diamond earrings, but they were like left like on her car or something. But she got diamonds. Wow. Girls got like trips before when I worked at Cactus. I got a laptop like
Yes,
from
I've worked at the
someone.
wrong
We're
bars.
still like friends. I don't really talk to him that much, but like not every day.
We're at
But
the
like
wrong
he
place.
was a really good friend. Like bought me like a
Not being the
laptop. We hung out
restaurant
with people.
It's really nice.
Like yeah, no.
So
just,
I want to present y'all
nice people.
another question. One that I have arguments with other bartenders I'm friends with. But is it in y'all's opinion, is it okay to flirt for tips?
what are you defining as flirting? Like,
just-
are you just laughing at their jokes all
Just
night?
flirting, like like giving the compliment out, like just flirting, like really working those tips, like I will be the first to say I flirt my little butt off for fucking tips.
You
I don't
flirt
care if you're a
titties
70-year-old lady or like a little 21-year-old girl. I don't care. I'm gonna flirt with you because I want you to tip me, and that's all I really care about. But
Yeah.
But
these
it's
are also
only at work.
It's only at work.
And you don't ever.
It's part of the job. I mean, I feel like that's
usually,
a part
for,
of being a
like-
good bartender.
Yeah.
Not necessarily straight flirting, but just
Yeah.
being nice in
You
general.
don't
I mean,
have to like give out your number. It honestly,
Yeah.
honestly,
Oh, yeah.
I've known so many girls that do this. Like, because I worked at Cactus forever, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew like most of the girls that went through there. You don't have to like give out your number. And I'll like even tell them too. I was like, you don't have to do that.
yeah.
Like you can just be like, oh, you give me yours, and then just crumple it and throw it in the trash if you want.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the
you
art
don't.
of being available yet unavailable.
It's unattainable.
You
Yeah.
act available but remain
you know,
unattainable. That's
Because
the-
as soon as you're attained, then
It's done.
It's done. You're done.
Yeah.
You
Your
have to have
$100 tip
the
you're
endless
getting
chase.
every single
Yeah.
That's the whole
weekend
thing
is
that-
gone.
That's the whole thing is that like
Yeah, you need another
we're
happy
providing
medium.
a service either way. So if we're nice and we want to like
You're still
flirt,
doing your
be
job.
nice. We're just doing our jobs. Like,
Yeah.
that-
The few-
like and if other people don't understand that, if the people that are they think you're flirting with them, you think you're like whatever. No, I'm being nice. Like it can come across as flirting or whatever. It's like no, just doing my job.
Yeah.
the few-
Just like this is. I'm just kind of here trying to make money. Like this is what I'm doing.
The few
Well-
places I've worked, as far as like managing, a predominantly female staff, which I've oddly enough have found myself in that position a few
Right
places.
now, it's
But
like
that's just it.
predominantly
It's like
female
you
staff.
said. It's you act available, but you remain unattainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you
It's what
tell them
keeps
everything they
people
want to
coming
hear, but at the
back.
end of the
Yeah.
night, they're going home and you're going wherever you go at that
Yeah.
point. That's where it ends. It's
Yeah.
while you're at
Yeah.
work, tell them what they want to hear. Absolutely.
Yeah.
People have to know that happy medium because the girls.
It's hard for the
that
customers to
don't
separate
know that
from that,
happy
though.
medium.
That turns into an
Yes.
issue.
Well,
So-
honestly,
yes.
I think that the customers almost sort of want it that way.
Oh yeah.
Like it sounds
Oh.
weird to say that, but I think they do kind of want that.
They do.
They
Like
the
they don't want
tease.
any like
The
serious
They
thing
wanna-
at the
yeah.
bar. They want to come in here. I don't
You
want
think because they have a home to go to, like
Yeah.
maybe an old lady they're going home to as
most
well.
likely they do it
They're not
for
getting
just
that
to
attention
feel
at home,
great
maybe?
about
Yeah,
themselves.
Yeah. So they're
You
like,
know,
there's
and,
a
you
bartender
know-
there. There's a waitress that likes to that flirts with me. And
Yes.
it's
Sure.
like, yeah. Some
Yeah.
people do go out for
I think that some people
flirtatious
genuinely
vibe of people. Yeah.
don't want anything like that. They just want, I want to come in here. I want to get attention. I want to
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
special,
yeah.
and then I want to go home to
Yeah.
whatever I'm going home to, and whatever. And like, yes, genuinely, some customers do not understand.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the difference.
There's
yeah.
a line at
I've
some point.
like
no, you're not gonna
myself-
take me home. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
Like,
I've myself had to like tell people like, look, you're gonna stop like talking to me how you're talking to me. Like, it's not gonna, like, it's no way.
yeah.
Like, okay.
It's
and
like
all
going
for
to a
that.
strip club
Yeah.
thinking you're going to go home with a stripper. I mean, it's not
Right.
going to
Not gonna happen.
It's not going to
Yeah.
happen, man. But
Yeah.
So
Plain and simple.
if I could have the audience go home with one thing after this podcast, is that the realization that a bartender and also servers, all servers, we provide multiple services to the people. Like I said, we give that attention to
need it.
people.
Yeah, Sure. yeah.
We make the drinks. We bring you your food. We do so much for our customers, our patrons.
Yeah.
And there's levels to it that, like, just looking on the surface you don't really see. But working years in the industry, you start to realize, like, oh, I'm just not a bartender. I just don't make drinks. I hear people's problems every day.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
You're a therapist.
Yeah, you're a therapist.
A
Everything.
friend.
Everything.
You're a hype man. You're so many different things. And like people take care of us because we take care of you while you're there.
Yeah.
Like, we are whatever you need when you need it.
Yeah.
even as far as,
basically.
getting a safe ride home,
Yeah.
something that seems,
Yeah.
I don't want to say basic, but I mean, that's an important thing. It's,
Mm-hmm.
we want to make sure you get home okay. Like, I
Yeah.
want you to come back. That's
Yeah.
always one thing.
For
you
sure,
know,
dude.
you cut somebody off and you got to send them on their way. It's like, we don't hate you, man. We want you to come back tomorrow,
Yeah.
but right now you need to go away.
I'm saving your life right now, my
And
bro.
Little
Like,
things like that. I
Look,
mean,
my man.
you locked your keys in the car. We got a locksmith on speed dial that
Yeah.
happens so often. Little
feel
things
like-
like that
yeah.
go beyond the just making drinks and
It is a
serving food
relationship.
and
Like, maybe
like
not be like a even sexual relationship, but we are a relationship in ourselves. We do have a relationship with the people that do come back every single
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
Your regulars,
Like,
I
Especially
mean,
you've been there for so
I've
long.
made-
Like, you're literally seeing these
I've made
people
great
every
friends.
day.
Yeah.
Like,
I see them more than I see my own
Like,
family.
I've made
Like,
such
and
good friends to where
like you
they
said,
feel like
it's
family.
not sexual. It's not
You know?
like
Yeah.
it can literally just be like
Yes.
You can be
these
friends with
people
somebody.
coming
Yes.
in.
That's still okay.
I've made lifelong friends bartending. Not just the people that I've worked with, like customers. I've made
Yeah,
lifelong
absolutely.
friends with customers that I've had.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and like sometimes the customers do just like care about you, and which I've figured out like over Corona. Like, I've had
Yeah.
customers that are like, "Are you okay? Like, do
Yeah.
you need anything? Like, I'm willing
Dude,
to
that's
help
awesome.
you
Like,
out
that's
because I
awesome.
know that you're
Yeah.
in a spot right now."
That's
and I know
awesome.
multiple friends who bartend or who are in the industry that have the same thing, that people
Yeah.
who have been patrons, who care about you, who come to see you every weekend,
The welfare
are
checks have been
making
nice,
sure
by the way, yeah, like
you're
random
okay.
texts
Yeah,
every
no.
now and then, "Hey, you
And
doing
they're
okay?"
like,
It's
I've been
"No,
waiting for
I'm
y'all to be
okay,
open.
I'm
Like,
good."
I've been
Sure.
waiting to
Number
come
one
here to,
fan.
like, I've been waiting here to make sure that y'all are doing all right. Make
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
I'm taking care of y'all, like, because they're like, we've been good, but, like, we know that the people that,
Because it's a relationship.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
either
Yeah,
way,
absolutely.
like, you might be paying for a service, but it is still a relationship.
It is.
Like, it might not be like I don't know.
Yeah, like,
the
I'm not gonna
normal
invite you to family
relationship.
cookouts and stuff. Like, I'm not
I've
gonna,
had
like, invite you to
customers that
my
we've
friends.
invited to Friendsgivings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
when we would have them from Cactus, but it is still a relationship, you still make friendships and make relationships, and my bar business relationships have become like family to me, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the people, even like Kim, I still see Kim all the time.
Yeah.
I love her. She's such a bitch, and I love her.
I'm like, who's Kim?
She's been
She
out of
was,
the game
it
for
was
a little
recently her
while now.
birthday.
I'm like,
I-
I work with a Kim, and wow,
Nah,
she's a bitch. And
I have her gift,
She's a
Kim. If you're
crazy
watching,
woman.
I owe you a gift. I have it. I've been working so much in the oil field that I've just been too busy to go buy. I don't want to go buy at midnight at your place. But to elaborate more on what you're saying, on the flip side of things, we were talking about, what we do for the customers.
Yeah.
Maybe what the customers do for us is what makes it so hard for us to quit the industry. Because a lot of bartenders, when they
Yeah.
quit the industry,
Yeah, it's
they
hard.
miss it, and they don't miss
Yeah.
the work. I don't miss making
No,
a
it's
bourbon
the
and Coke every
people,
day.
it's the-
I miss getting yelled
miss the
at
people.
constantly.
Yeah.
Interaction,
The
I
social
mean,
interaction.
There's certain people that
Yeah, you
know
have
that are
that
going to come in and see you,
leader.
and you know that you're going to, like, guaranteed have those people that you're always
excited to see.
Yeah,
you.
like you're gonna
come to
have
see
that.
you.
Yeah.
Regulars are a thing. Like,
Like
I swear, if people go out and say they're regulars, they're like, we're regulars. And
that
person,
confident
like,
boost, like feeling needed
yeah,
almost.
when they ask for you
get it.
specifically,
I
when they
get
say
it.
like that's who I came here for, like, then that is what makes you feel like important as
You don't get a lot
No,
of that.
yeah.
A
server,
normal
like,
9
you
to
just-
5. That's
yeah,
for sure.
Nope.
for sure.
like
Yeah.
damn, they like me enough, like,
I worked
and
in
that's
construction,
that's
it's not
why I
the
like
same.
doing it, is that I feel like I'm a people person. I do it because I feel like I'm a people person, and people are gonna want to come see me again, and like I would not give them any reason to not come back and see me. Like,
Sure.
I agree.
and so it's kind of like I like that.
So
I
one
like
thing
it.
I'm
It's
real
all
scared
about
of
it.
that I've seen, I've always seen it since I was new in the industry, and now that I'm a veteran in the industry, is the people who are the servers, the bartenders, who are now salty and sour towards the industry they're in. Like, I don't know if you ever met just
Everyone
a
gets
grumpy
burnt out.
bartender, how like you're
That's
like,
when
yo,
you
you
burn
needed
out,
to
man.
leave
It's a
this
phase.
industry a
There's
long
just
time
that
ago.
There's this one at a certain place that I can.
I
I'm
probably
not
know.
gonna say it. I'm not gonna be specific about, but I know exactly where it's at. And there's just this one that he should probably
He's always upset, right?
retire. He
I
should
think that
definitely.
it's I know who y'all
But
are.
he's making.
I think we all
I
kind
know
of figured.
y'all are
we all
talking
figured
he's
that out.
probably
Hold up.
making a killing, and he's probably
He's
doing
living
great.
his best life.
Yeah,
so.
he's still
But-
making so
Hope
much
so.
money being a miserable person.
I
but
think
it's cool.
I think it's a
whatever.
phase. I think
No,
I honestly.
No.
I think
But
you
I
just-
think that
multiple
that
years.
him personally, that's his personality.
Okay.
Also
That's
true. Some people
him.
are just
Well,
like
that's what I
that.
mean.
But
Some
I,
people are
you
just
can-
their
you can-
personality.
Just like waiting, that one bitch that just like hates everything, but obviously
That's her
she
personality.
likes to make money, and she's once
Hey.
yeah.
But you can't.
But
As
in
a
the
server,
bar,
you
but
can't
if-
show that. You can't show that
You're
to
not
your
supposed
customers.
to. You're not supposed to.
And,
show
and
that.
get
whenever you're
comfortable, though.
bartending or you're serving, and you constantly show
Yeah.
your disfast, your
That you hate it
distasteful,
every day.
of the industry,
all the time.
you need to go.
You need to stop.
Or you
yeah.
need to change the
Okay,
scenery.
but yeah,
That's
you
one thing
take a
I've-
break.
No,
That's
or
what
a
I'm
change the
saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Go to a
You
different
could not
place.
even be. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to
I've
stop doing what you
fallen
love
prey to
doing.
that. I
but
mean,
I feel
change
like
it
you
up.
burnt
Go
out.
somewhere else that's
You-
not gonna be so aggravating.
You're
That's
just-
all.
you're not
I've
happy. You
personally
keep
gotten
going.
burnt out before.
Yeah?
I really have. Like I went and I did construction for a while. Not for me.
Oh.
Just normal work, not for me. I'm going to college now. Maybe when I quit, I'll have like a career job. But honestly, I am a service industry person. But I did get burnt out, and I felt myself like, I don't want to fucking go to work every day. I'm like, God damn it, fucking shit. Hi. Like
Right,
you change
you
your
just-
face as soon as you get there.
I attribute a lot to-
and it sucks, but I feel like I took a break, and then I genuinely was like, oh my God, I need to go
So-
back. This sucks. I'm going to make twice this, you know?
So if I can compare it to anything, it's like let's say baseball. So you have a young star coming up. He's really good for about a couple seasons, and then like 2 seasons, 5 seasons down the road, 10 seasons, like he's terrible. He's not doing as good, and then he gets traded to another team, and then all of a sudden he's badass again.
Yeah.
And it's I really believe it's a change of scenery, it's a change of venue, and like you I think you need to do that.
And genuinely,
I think if you're at a place for just so
sometimes-
long, it
yeah.
just it burns you out. And like, well, it just and I mean, I've experienced it myself. You know, I mean, I was at a place forever, and it was when the regulars annoyed you. That's when you know it's time to go. It's time
Well,
to move on. It's time to do something different, or you need to change something, whatever it might be. You know, your attitude or your location,
Yeah.
your city,
But-
your whatever kind of type of bar you're in, whatever restaurant. Like, you just got to do it every now and again, and it's the same thing. I mean, the next place was like it was like a total change. Like you're
a
invigorated
breath of fresh
again, you
air, yeah.
enjoy it
Yeah.
again.
I
Like it's different
personally-
people, it's a
yeah.
different place, it's different drinks. You know, whatever it is, you got to change something. There's something in there that you need to change.
Yeah.
You have to
And
find
it
your
happens.
home, though. Like, also, like, because not every
Well, that's also
bar
true.
just can, because just the industry, there's always someone younger than you, someone with more energy than you, someone cuter than you. Like, from a woman's perspective,
Yeah.
someone always younger, cuter, more energy than you.
There's always someone bigger,
There-
stronger,
and
faster.
you know what? Every manager, not every, but a lot of managers, especially like in speed bar or clubs, are gonna tell you like there's someone thinner than you, there's someone prettier than you, there's someone more energy than you, and you are fucking replaceable. Just
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
And you know,
Everyone is
you don't
replaceable.
always feel like at home. And me personally, I worked at a lot of places where I just didn't feel like that was my family. And for a
Yeah.
while at Cactus, I thought it was my family, and it turned out like maybe not so much.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much better bars could get. But and I was treated good, like I made good money there, but you know, honestly, when I went to Moonshine, I felt like, oh my God, these people appreciate me. They listen to me. It's like a family.
I kind of felt the same way
And,
when I started
like,
there.
honestly,
It was
Yeah?
like the first time I was
when I
comfortable
went to
again.
Moonshine, it was just like, oh my God, this is just like I fit in fine. Like we talk about things. It's not just like, oh, just, you know, just kind of like hush up. We don't really care what your
Yeah.
opinion is.
Yeah, you get that-
Which
you get
is
that a
what
lot.
I got at a lot of bars. Like, I'm like, I've worked in a bar for a really long time. I worked in bars, so
Yeah.
many different bars, so long time, like so many years. Like, you could fucking listen to me. But whenever I went to Moonshine, they actually like listened to me, and it was just like a family. And I think that like if you find like a bar that's your place, and the people like genuinely like care about you, and it's a family, it doesn't feel as much like a job. You have hard days like every other job, but like if at the end of the day, who you're working with, if they're good and they treat you well and they listen to you, I think that you won't get burnt out like that.
I agree with you 100%, Danny, and I think what you're talking about doesn't just apply to bartenders, but I think it applies to anyone in any industry. Like, you need
Yeah,
to find
for
your
sure.
home. You need to love what you're doing. Like, if you're waking up,
Yeah,
going to
that's-
work, and just dreading it, then
Yeah.
you need to make some changes in your life. Like, life is too short to be miserable at all. Like,
Yeah.
you need to find your calling in life, and you know it might take some time, and you know it doesn't fall in your lap. You might have to do some searching and finding
Yeah,
it, but
use some
but
soul
please
searching.
find it, because life is too short.
You
need
shouldn't
to
get like
enjoy it.
belittled at your job,
Yeah.
and people should listen to you, and they shouldn't
Yeah.
like
Well,
no.
you should value your
That's what I'm saying,
input
like-
I've worked
and-
at so
and
many
your opinion.
places that I feel like just because like maybe I'm a female or I don't
Yo,
know,
I've
because
been,
I have experience.
I've
but
been
they don't
belittled
listen.
just for being
Yeah.
a server and stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, I make money. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I
Yeah.
enjoy what I'm doing. Like, y'all think that I do it just because, like, people say, like, oh, well, you can make more. Like, I tell them, like, I make $2.15 an hour
Yeah.
plus tips. They're like, well, you're only stopping yourself. You're the one not.
Like,
and I'm like,
It's not a real job.
no, look,
man.
dude, I literally make money. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, and then I actually enjoy doing what I'm doing. I like to talk to people. Yes, I have days where I probably am
Yeah.
going to sit there and tell you that I had the shittiest
Yeah,
day.
and everybody does.
Everybody in the
talk-
service industry has
talk
bad
all the
days.
shit. But it's like,
Yeah.
no, but I actually kind of enjoy, like, this face-to-face people meeting every day, like, and then building those relationships, and you have
Yeah.
people that come back and ask for you, and you know, like,
Yeah, it's an
kind of
it's an
just like
outlet.
that stuff. Yeah,
Honestly,
it
people
really
pay
is.
good money to have networking as well as servers network. Like, just genuinely ask me for anything, and I can tell you a
myriad of
fencer, someone that does like whatever, like on a spectrum of things. But like I network great.
Yeah.
Like, you tell me you need something, I know somebody somewhere. You know, and by name and what they drink.
You come across so many.
You're right. You're
absolutely
She's
right.
like,
Crown and
I
Crown
can
does
tell
great
you
fence work.
what's
so many
real.
different
They'll
walks
go
of
to
life you
bed.
come in contact
Probably,
with.
like,
People would pay good money for the networking that like industry people have.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Same shit.
Mm-hmm.
You
All right.
still get just as much out of life as
Yeah.
any other fucking person.
If I need help with anything in life, I know a guy
know a
and
guy.
I know what he drinks.
I know
Yeah.
I'll
a
bring him
guy.
a six
I'm like, I
pack
hate
and we'll
for
just shoot
people
the shit.
to hate on the service industry because I'm
Yeah.
like, y'all don't even understand.
I personally think everyone should
Are
work in the service industry.
yeah, like yeah.
Yeah.
You have to at least
You don't get
experience
enough
once
respect.
and understand where we're coming from. Whether y'all think we're like low life pieces of people that are barely like scraping it, it's like nah.
Well,
No,
shame
we're
on
thriving,
anyone
we're
that
fighting.
thinks that about you, Aubrey. But we're gonna have to wrap things up here pretty soon. We're it's getting to that time. I would like to say, any bartenders listening, please comment your responses on anything if you agree with this or disagree with anything that we said here. I would like to hear anyone's opinion, and I would like to thank y'all too for coming on. It was really nice of y'all to
Thanks
give
for having
us.
us.
Yeah, dude. I will have y'all
It's a
again.
good time.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely have y'all again, and we can talk more bar stuff because I only said like a fraction of what I wanted to talk about today.
So
I'm
much.
sorry, I talk a lot.
No, I'm glad y'all did. It's just there's just so much to talk about
We're
in the bar
social
industry.
people.
We are. We're
That's
very
our
social.
job.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But I guess until next time, guys. Thanks for viewing in. See you around.
I never had a father.